Good morning folks, afternoon, good night or whatever it is, where you are when you're watching today's video. Today I am bruising barley and applying some of this stuff while I'm at it, which is a bit of a pain. So I've got that going slower than it usually does, so I've got time to get in and out. I've not put enough barley in that bucket. I'll add it to it when I get to the bruiser. But aye, so this is urea, and this is, it's like something that activates the fermentation process. I can't just quite mind what it's supposed to do, but aye, it's quite the job having to get in and out and do all this. So a bag is 25 kilos, and that's 25 kilos. To put 5 kilos of this in per tonne and 15 kilos of that in per tonne. So to work all that out before I started, so a wee bucket and a bit of this stuff and then a full green bucket of this stuff, and that seems to be about right. And I think that bucket's a tonne when it's full, I hope, roughly. So that's what I'm doing, and then applying it and put it in there, then put it in that shed, and then you have to hap it, wait 2 weeks, and you take the hap off, something like that. So just going to apply this, add this stuff in the now. I think that's just the last of the bag, but I'll just double check that, then I can launch these 2 bags in, because then that's 15 kilos. It works out. This full white bag does 5 buckets, and then it all balances out. So let's try and set this up somehow. Yeah, there you go. So that's that in. I'll put a wee drop more in the bucket, and then I'll fire it in the bruiser. That's working now after all the dramas that we had. Aye, so after that video I put up with the broken bearings and whatnot, it started sparking like buggery at one side. The roller had moved, so my dad's away at the moment, so I'm on my Todd. So the mechanic came up and gave me a hand. He gave me a hand to put it together. He gave me a hand to move the roller across, because I wasn't really sure what I was doing, but now I've seen what to do, it's a wee bit, I should manage, but I shouldn't move now. But these things have a habit of moving sometimes. If anyone's ever dealt with bruisers before, they'll know that. So, aye, just one of the things, so it is. So, aye, this is supposed to help ferment it, and I can't remember what it does, but it's supposed to be better for the feeding when it's in this stuff. So, aye, we'll soon find out when we start feeding it. But I've only got enough for 60 tonne, and that's roughly what we've got off my uncle here. So when we run out, that's it. So we'll need to see what happens to it. So a wee trial here for ourselves. So it is. Come to bruising the bit that's not the usual bit, because the barley's full out the other side of the shed, but because it's been pitted for a couple of weeks, I've opened it and it's ready to feed, so that's fine. Just scooping up the bruised stuff with the urea and whatnot. I'm not sure if that's how we're supposed to do it. There was other ways to do it, but that is one of the ways to do it. I know some folk that have done it that way and it worked absolutely fine, so other folk put them in feed wagons, mix it up and put it out, and other folk have a calibrated thing on the bruiser itself, which we don't have. So, but the bucket's a ton. So, and then putting it in the bruiser, then putting it. So that's it mixed in the bruiser, and then the bruiser bruises it out, gives it another mix. And then I put it in the shed here, and that's it getting another mix. And then I shove it up, and that's it getting another mix. So it's getting handled about 4 times roughly, I think. 1, 2, 3, and then you scoop it up 4. Aye, 4 or 5 times by the time you scoop it up a couple of times. And aye, you can smell it anyway, so that means it must be about right. So it's got a kind of distinctive smell about it, you know. And I was wondering what it was, and then figured it out, because I smelt this before. Like, I've not used urea before, but it's basically smelling salts, which the lad do tug of war throughout the summer with the young farmers, and then I try and do it again with the Scottish tug of war team. And that's one of the things that shove up your nose, smelling salts, and that's what the smell is. So, hey, there you go. I knew what the smell was, I just couldn't put a finger on it, and then it clicked. So, aye, there you go. So, yeah, this is what's going on. The new bearings up the top are working away just fine. The roller's not sparking anymore, and it's just rolling it away, bruising, and the pit's filling up nicely. Then later on I'll need to go out and I'll cut the zero grazing again, and then because Dad's away I'll need to get my sister, who is capable, and she will drive the trailer to me on the chopper and get the grass in for tomorrow. So the cows will be getting chased round for the milking now, so, or the milk started, I'm not sure what time it is right now. But this is basically what it looks like when she's fed out in the shed. So we mix up our blend, and then we put the blend out for the cows first, and then afterwards I come in again with the grass and put it down. So and the cows love it. I mean, it's not the most ideal of situations, cutting, rowing up, lifting into a trailer, because that's 3 passes, and you need 2 folk at the end up. The ideal would be to have a wagon, but we don't do this very often. We did it a few years ago, and then we decided to do it again because we've got that much grass, and third cut wasn't giving us the best yield. So that's what's been happening. So but this put the milk back up again, but it is getting to that time of year. I'm not sure if the grass is going to start losing its value or not, but until then I'm happy enough to feed it down the shed. It's looking braw. And the full roof's on now as well, I forgot to say. So the shed's got a lot more light in it, as you can see, because if we do this, we're here, and then you look next door and it's awfully dull, but that's just because the skylights are so bright. But I'm pretty sure there's double amount of skylights in this shed than there is the shed next door. So the difference is quite substantial in the brightness of the shed. That's the line being put down, and that helps keep on top of the mastitis as well, so that's another thing that we do. Yesterday, so the new track that went down in this shed for the scrapers works away fine, but this end here, that was still the original, so these bars were non-existent, and it would come up here and stop. So yesterday I got the welder out and well, cut a couple of bars on and welded them down. So these scrapers have been working away quite the thing now, so that's ideal as well. So we're quite happy to see that, because well scraped passages are what you want as well. Nice clean passages for the cows. Keep their feet dry, keep the beds clean as well. That's the other thing. Scrape the passages, keep the beds clean. Less bacteria. So, aye, that's what I've been up to recently anyway. Then we'll be getting ready for the cattle coming in soon. Well, not soon, but you know what I mean. Be prepared, you know. So, aye, that's what's been happening. So, hopefully you all enjoyed today's video. I'll not bore you with repeating with putting the barley in the bruiser, because you all know what that's all about. It's just to crack the barley head so the cows can digest it, and add the ammonia in and that, to see if that helps the fermentation process and make it more palatable. Not palatable, I don't know what the word is. To make it higher feed value for the cows as well. I think that's one of the things that it does. So, aye, hope you all enjoyed today's video anyway. We'll see you all next time on Drew's Farming Life.